So if cotangent x equals 1 over tan x, of course, tangent x over secant x must equal sine x. Who am I, you ask? To answer this, I can tell you my name and a brief history of my life, or interview some close friends. It would be academic, fancy, and you would probably walk away from this video thinking, that's the kind of kid I want marrying my daughter. But where's the fun in that? I think I'll show you the 3 areas of my heritage which impact my identity the most in a video that will have you laughing until you cry, then begging my English teacher to give me a 100 for the semester, or at least on this assignment. We will start with athletics, move to academics, then finish with my religion. So in the words of Mario, here we go! The first area of my heritage is athletics. From a very early age, I have always loved sports. My parents, neither of whom were very big athletes as children, saw this and have always encouraged athletics. As a small child, I fell in love with baseball, and my father would take me to watch the Astros play all the time. I joined my first t-ball team when I was 5, my first coach pitch team when I was 6, and began playing club baseball when I was 9. My schedule of 2 practices a week and tournaments every other weekend lasted for 7 years, but ended when I entered Houston Christian High School. Once I started high school, I decided to stop playing baseball and run track and cross country. I run varsity cross country and the varsity mile and 2 miles in track. In addition to all this, I have begun to play Ultimate Frisbee quite devotedly, and am one of the 4 founding members of my school's Ultimate Frisbee team. Needless to say, sports has had a large impact on my life so far. Just like athletics, music has played a key role in my life. My father is not much of a musician, but my mother plays the piano and the marching bells. She played in the Houston Youth Orchestra in high school and played the marching bells in the Longhorn Marching Band at UT. At age 8, per my mother's request, I began taking piano lessons and competing in competitions around the state. In the same year I began taking lessons, I competed in and won a statewide competition hosted by the Texas Teachers Federation of Music. I continued taking weekly lessons and competing until my 8th grade year, in which my parents let me discontinue this rigorous endeavor. However, music would not be put down so easily. 2 months after stopping my piano lessons, I was inspired to teach myself the guitar, so I could play songs I enjoyed listening to on the radio. Compliments of free material on the internet, I was able to teach myself the basics, but the finer points of the instrument still remain out of my reach. But music wouldn't stop there. My sophomore year, I was convinced to join Houston Christian's string orchestra, and I began learning to play the cello, which I did rather unsuccessfully. Now in my junior year, I have begun to learn to play the bass. My relationship with music has been one of both love and hate, but it has been an undeniable effect on my life nonetheless. The third facet of my heritage is my intellectual upbringing. From a very early age, my parents emphasized school as their second biggest priority for my life, behind my religion. Once teachers began giving letter grades for assignments, I was put under a strict straight A's or death policy. Both my father and mother have obtained graduate degrees in their fields of expertise, so they expected me to give a good effort to school, which in their opinion meant straight A's. Fear of having all freedom taken away from me until the next quarterly grading period in which I had straight A's pressured me to maintain a straight A average through all of elementary school and middle school. My academic success also pushed me into accelerated classes in my middle school and allowed me to be selected to participate in the most exclusive academic program in Houston Christian High School, the Distinguished Scholars Program. Once I entered high school, I was given a bit more leniency by my parents, but anything below an 85 without an extremely good excuse was still out of the question. I've also opted to take advanced courses in science, math, Spanish, history, and English while in high school, and was inducted into the National Honor Society during my sophomore year. All these accomplishments would not have been possible without my strict upbringing with regard to my academic ventures. Even more than athletics, music, and my intellectual upbringing, my religion is by far the element of my heritage that has impacted my life the most. I have been brought up knowing that putting my faith in Jesus Christ is the single most important decision of my life, and that I need to base my entire life on that faith. Since before I was conscious of my actions, I was being taken to church every Sunday by my parents. As I grew up, I never stopped going to church every week, and I was enrolled in a Christian private school for every level of my education. Both my parents come from strong Christian families, so they know how important being raised in a Christian setting is for the well-being of a person. They would also talk to me about difficult subjects to strengthen my faith and protect me from facing those issues on my own later in life. So who am I? A dedicated athlete that trains tirelessly? A gifted musician with a well-developed appreciation for classic rock and classical music? An exhausted student working tenaciously to get an A in English? A young Christian searching for truth? I am Chris Mosher.